going, guys? My name is Micah Autry, and stay tuned for my interview with Call It How You See It TV.
It's Kelly Ufa, and you're now watching Cali How You See It.
Thank you
No
for
worries.
tuning in Cali How You See It TV. Today we have one of our special guests. He's an entrepreneur. He's also a host of Secret of Silence of Success.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me about yourself.
Yeah. So I am from Texas. I am a media entrepreneur. I started On Media. We are a full commercial and film production house. I am also the host of the Secrets of Silent Success podcast. And I am just a guy who enjoys ownership and who enjoys business and who enjoys entrepreneurship.
How did that start? Why did you want to become an entrepreneurship? How did it start?
Sure. For me, growing up, wasn't in extreme poverty or anything like that, but never owned the apartments that we lived in. We always leased the rent of them, never owned the car that you drove in or even the couch that you sat in. And for me, I always wanted something different. I wanted to own what I had. The car that I drove, I wanted to own it. The house that I lived in, I wanted to own it. The place that I worked and spent most of my time, I wanted to own it. And so I think that's what gravitated me towards entrepreneurship, because I wanted to own something. And I feel that in entrepreneurship, you're in control. It's yours, right?
Yeah.
And what you do, you have a direct outcome. A lot of people say you eat what you kill. And in entrepreneurship, I feel that everything that I put into my business, I directly get out the fruits of my labor.
So you also are a host of Secret of Silence of Success. How did that start?
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, I run into a lot of other entrepreneurs. So I have a film and media production company, and I film for lawyers, doctors, media personalities, people in hospitality, and all of them had these amazing stories. And I was like, man, it makes me feel so good personally to hear these stories that I want other people to feel what I feel when I talk to my clients about their stories and how they overcame, being a convicted felon to start $1 million logistics company, or how, a lawyer at 24, 25 years old was making $1 million in his own law practice. I was like, man, those are inspirational stories from people that look like me. And so I wanted to go back and have those stories told to other people. I have the media equipment. I have the know-how being a media production company owner. And so I was like, hey, let's me start a podcast to start sharing my client stories. I shared all of my client stories. And then from there, I was like, hey, it's other people out there. So I started reaching out to other entrepreneurs, and other entrepreneurs start reaching out to me, and it kind of took off from there.
How did the name start? What made you guys decide to create that name?
Yeah, Secrets to Silent Success. The name came, I want to say, from two things. The first thing is there's a lot of people on social media, on the internet, on YouTube, talking about all of these ways to be successful, how to get rich and how to have a fulfilling life. And what I'm hearing, or what I was hearing on social media and on the internet, wasn't always what I was hearing from my mentors, from my clients, people that I see who has tangible results. I see the house that they live in. I see the family that they're raising. And so I was like, hey, these people don't have 1 million followers on social media. They got 1,000, right? So what's their secret to success? And that's the people that I started interviewing. It wasn't the people who had the big social media followings or the big social capital, if you will. I started to interview the entrepreneur that lives next door to you to get their secrets. And then for me, I'm a pretty private person. Even my personal Instagram page is on private, right? And so it was a little bit of me giving insights on what I've done to build my business. And that's why I like the idea of Secrets to Silent Success, because when you're moving in success, a lot of times you're silent about it.
So when you are on, because I watched you on Secret of Silence Success, you talking in public, is that like something natural when you talking in public? Are you like nervous? Like what do you know? Since you're on Call It How You See It TV, it's Call It How You See It, like expressing stuff. Like, how is it like? Is that something you like grew up with since from childhood?
I noticed at a very young age that a lot of kids were scared at presentation day, but I was
Okay.
the weird kid who looked forward to presentation day. I remember in like third grade, I'm sitting there. I have my PowerPoint on a floppy disk. Right, a lot of kids don't even know what floppy disks are anymore. But I remember being in third grade, having my PowerPoint presentation on a floppy disk, and I was so ready to go and present it to my class. And because I was excited to do something that so many others were fearful to do, I figured I had a superpower. And then you grow up and you do research, and the second fear other than death for human beings is public speaking.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, I have something. And obviously, I've done media, I've done entrepreneurship, but, in the last 3 to 4 years, I've started to take advantage
Mm-hmm.
of that skill and hone it to go out there and give people the information that I've received through mentors, through book reading, things like that, and do it in a public space. And that's kind of where I got
Okay,
started
so
and
I
where
was
I'm at
actually
now.
watching Black Men in White Coats. For those
Okay.
who don't know, to advertise it on my show, like, can you talk about it so people can go watch it? How can they watch it? How is it
Yep.
like?
Gotcha. Yeah. So I directed the film Black Men in White Coats. The
Okay.
film covered the disparity and health outcomes in result of the lack of representation in medicine. So a lot of people don't know only 2% of the practicing physicians in America are Black men.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so studies have shown that when you have a physician who can empathize with you and understand your plight, you have better health outcomes. Right. And as Black men, we don't have that. Therefore, we have the lowest life expectancy in America as Black men. So we created this film to help get the knowledge out there and to ultimately help raise the acceptance rates of Black males into medical school. And a year after our film debut, the amount of Black men getting into medical school went up 21%. So I can't take direct credit for that, but I definitely think we contributed to it. But the film was all about the theme of the film was really you can't be what you can't see. For
Mm-hmm.
me personally, I didn't meet my first Black male physician until the age of 22.
Oh
I
wow.
didn't even know it was possible to be a Black male physician because I never saw one. Right.
Mm-hmm.
If I met one earlier, my career path may have been different. I may not be directing the film. I may have been one of the doctors being interviewed in the film.
Yeah.
Right. And so what we learned is, hey, we have to expose our Black boys and girls to all the professional possibilities that are available to them. And that's what the film was. It was our way of exposing young Black boys and girls to say, hey, you can have a white coat, not just in medicine, but in all professions, lawyers, doctors, media. You can have your white coat.
So how would, for someone who doesn't really know, like, how would they watch that? Like, is it on
Sure.
Netflix or?
Yeah, so we didn't quite make it to Netflix. We actually did a little bit of a different distribution model. We actually showcased the film at about 120 of the nation's 150 medical schools.
Okay.
But right now, you can actually stream it online. You just go on Google, type in Black Men in White Coats. We have a proprietary site that allows you to be able to stream it.
So if someone would actually want to be on your show, because when I watch you on Secret of Silence to Success, and let's say if somebody want to be on it, what's the best way to actually contact you? And is it through Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, Instagram is probably the best way. That's where we post most of our short form content. So, drop a comment in one of the comments on one of the videos, send us a DM. Also, feel free to email me. It's really simple. My email is Micah, Micah, at aume.media. And yeah, I'll get right back with you. I'd love to have you on the show.
Well, I don't really have that much questions to ask, and I feel like if someone want to really know about you, they can actually go on Google or IG. Is there any
Yeah.
special projects for the viewers?
Yeah, so be stay tuned for September. I'm working on a project with an international automotive brand. So fingers crossed, haven't closed the deal yet, but it's by far the biggest deal that I've worked on as a media company. So looking forward to that. And then with the Secrets of Silence Success podcast, we got 2 episodes coming every month. So stay tuned to our YouTube, to our Instagram. We always got interesting entrepreneurs telling great stories that I think people can gain great insights from.
Well, thank you for coming to my show.
Stay updated with Kali How You See It. Like, subscribe, or click the link below.